finna blow in the next 3 years. Tops.
Without further delay, let's get onto the guide. Just a note, all of the concepts in this video can apply elsewhere than Overwatch, especially the more philosophical, existential ones that go throughout, but I do tie it back to Overwatch. The first key thing when avoiding tilt is to understand why you're playing ranked in the first place. Most players would respond along the lines of, it's to get a higher rating, which is the first mistake players make. By saying this, you're implying that your happiness will fluctuate up and down solely based off an arbitrary number, resulting in half your games ending up in tilts if you have a 50% win rate. Instead, you should look at that arbitrary number as a byproduct and to instead look to focus on improving your play, even if it doesn't always end up in you gaining more SR. Here's SVB explaining this a bit more by asking yourself whether you played well enough to win a lost game.
If the answer is no, then what grounds do you really have to complain? Whatever stupid things your teammates did, or whatever unlucky things happened, you flat out didn't play as well as you could have done, so you need to work on that first and foremost. Why would you focus on the things out of your control when there's something in your control that you can fix that would have changed the outcome of your game? But maybe the answer to the question is yes. You think, yeah, I did actually do a lot, and it's unfair that I lost the game. I deserve to win. Okay, fair enough. But then you should be even less upset that you lost. Why? Because you actually achieved the goal. The actual goal when playing the game and trying to climb a ladder system is to be as good as you can be, to be challenged, to improve, and to play better than those around you so that you can reach the next rank. If you've played better than the players in your lobby, then you're well on your way to climbing and getting to that next rank because it simply follows logic. If you continue to be one of the best players in every lobby you're put into, you will naturally have more impact and make it more likely your team wins, and you will therefore win more than anyone else in your rank.
Some common responses to what SVB has just said is often, well, I'm always the best, but I still don't win, or I played so incredibly well in that game but I still lost, which is very unfair, I almost never play that well. With the first response, you are almost definitely lying to yourself, or you're just not knowledgeable enough about the game to see your mistakes, hence I recommend cross-checking your gameplay with a coach or just someone else to give you some form of feedback. With the latter question about playing really well but still losing, again the goal is consistency with your gameplay and to improve on how you play on average rather than solely focusing on one game that's practically an anomaly to how you normally play. Building more off what SVB said about focusing on improvement rather than the outcome of the game, another key concept which is a bit more philosophical is the concept of Stoicism, which is the ability to cope with hardship without complaint. While Stoicism is an entire discipline of philosophy, some of the fundamental principles can still be applied with Overwatch. Realizing that there are only two things in your control, being your thoughts and your actions, you can start to build a stronger foundation for focusing on your gameplay and actions instead of focusing on what your other teammates are doing. If there's a thrower or a lever on your team, or someone refusing to swap to a hero, or someone tilting down the mic, don't worry about it too much, as their actions and choices on how to act are entirely out of your control. If there's a DDoSer or a cheater on the enemy team, again, don't worry about their actions and instead focus on your own thoughts and actions in game, as those are within your control. A connected concept with improvement is also doing what others aren't willing to do to become the best in your field. Here's ioStux applying this concept from the art of improvement to Overwatch in 4 layers.
Listen.
Uber successful entrepreneur Darren Hardy once remarked that he's always glad when something is difficult, because that means most people won't ever do it.
When I came to that realization, that was one of the most enlightening experiences of my life. That is one of the most important sentences you guys are ever going to hear. Finding something that you know other people aren't willing to do is like striking upon a gold mine. For Overwatch, the first tier are people who only press F1 and they read through what their abilities do, and then they play. Tier 2 are the people who go on YouTube and then they end up watching like the Angry Llama or something, or your Overwatch. Tier 3 are the people who have understood that there are better content creators. And Tier 3 are the people who belong to the 133,000 people who have watched ioStux's complete Bronze to Owl guide. So we're going down, right? So we have 20 million Overwatch players, like a million people who are subscribed to like your Overwatch, 45,000 who are subscribed to ioStux, and then we get to the absolute top tier people who review their own VODs. And when you hear that absolutely no one reviews their own VODs, you should like froth at the mouth. Saliva should exit your mouth. So nobody really wants to VOD review, and you need to take that opportunity.
So in short, do self-VOD reviews and get professionals or qualified coaches to go over your gameplay in order to improve. And make sure you don't go autopilot or coast in your games, otherwise it's going to be all meaningless. But again, that still applies to this concept of doing what others aren't willing to do, as most players are just willing to autopilot in their games. A concept linking onto doing what others aren't willing to do is failure. Here's ioStux applying the concept of failure bringing success to Overwatch.
Failure brings humility. It develops your character. It helps helps you laugh at your mistakes and not take things so seriously.
That is something so important. Have you guys ever noticed? Okay, so obviously most of you have watched like other people do Overwatch streams. When ML7, when he nano boosts the wrong person, like he doesn't get angry, like he laughs. Like it's hilarious. When someone whiffs a shatter, when someone fat fingers their trance, like it's funny. You know, because they've been through failure so often that another instance of it is not demoralizing, it's just funny. The higher you go, the higher level your friends are, the more likely they are to laugh at their mistakes. Whereas the lower you go, the more likely they are to get upset.
The next broad concept, which is less so to do with tilting but more so to do with long-term growth and improvement, is the law of attraction. I'll let YouTubers Nico and Steezy Kane describe the law of attraction with regards to their careers, and I'll try and apply that to Overwatch.
I started a YouTube channel and I now have about 1.8k subs. I'm commenting this so I can come back to it in 2 years when I have 1 million subs to prove this works.
And then you can see everyone just document like how many subs I had.
And you really believed it. Like, I think a lot of people kind of believe in the law of attraction.
The law of attraction is the belief that positive or negative thoughts bring positive or negative experiences into a person's life.
You plant that seed in your head and it grows.
It manifests itself.
If someone thinks about negative shit, it's going to grow as well. You reap what you sow.
The energy you feed grows.
And
no matter what it is.
Whenever I learned what the law of attraction was, and I would try to tell friends at high school or like my family members, they would laugh.
In essence, you can create a self-fulfilling prophecy by acting as a winner before you become one. A really good example is with very small content creators or Twitch streamers. The streamers that have no viewers on Twitch are unlikely to be acting as if they had a couple hundred or a couple thousand. This isn't to say that just by saying or believing something, you'll automatically accomplish it, because whilst mindset is important, so is action. Subconsciously, you'll start taking actions as if you had already met your goals by putting in the effort like those do at the top. Take this YouTube channel for example. I act and treat my videos as if I was a major content creator via my scripts, timestamps, research, and video structure, because I do truly believe that I will make it one day. Whereas back in 2017 with my older videos, Exhibit A, I didn't really act in that way, and the same can apply for you if you're looking to reach a certain rank. To cement this a bit more, here's Nico giving another example of the law of attraction in his life with a video editing competition.
He said that he was looking for an editor. I applied, and then he turned the thing into a whole competition. It was narrowed down from 200 down to 10 semifinalists, and we're still waiting on the winner. I think if I didn't tell people I wanted to win this competition, I wouldn't have taken it seriously. It would have just been like a side job, like, oh, maybe I'll do this. I'll just try my hand at this. I'll submit it. It would have been half-assed. But because I know people are gonna see it, I gotta step my game up.
Applying this back to Overwatch, if you wanted to reach top 500 from Platinum, you'll start taking steps in order to reach that level that others aren't willing to do, relating back to that concept mentioned by ioStux early on, by doing VOD reviews and whatnot. By believing in the law of attraction, you'll end up forming these habits that help you achieve your goal. The next concept that I'll mention is to undercut your ego by treating those below you better. In essence, if you're Platinum SR for example, and you feel like you're complete trash from playing with Diamond or Master players, it's likely because you treat Gold or Silver players like trash as well. Here's Dr. K from Healthy Gamers GG explaining this concept a bit more, but at a much higher level with gaming.
So letting go of your feelings of inferiority, start by letting go of your feelings of superiority. I was working with a professional player. This person is very good, was very high up in their region, and would boot camp in a different region that is known to be a quote-unquote stronger region. And he felt like, his words literally, dog shit playing with them. Any mistake he made, he would feel like, oh my god, like these epic players that I've looked up to my entire life must think that I am dog shit. And he would ask me like, how do I let go of this? Like, I just can't play with these people. It's really messing up my mental. So the solution was, when you play in your region, how do you feel about the people in the games that you're with? And he's like, they're dog shit. And I told him, as long as you treat them like dog shit, you will think that you are dog shit, because that's the construction. That's the play that your mind enacts. And as long as you're feeling superior, it's just the flip side of the coin. And so it's interesting because he's gotten a lot better.
However, you can be confident in your area of expertise whilst respecting those below you, as Nico gives an example of here with the human ego.
I learned watching the Michael Jordan documentary how he used his ego to become the best. At any point in the season where Chicago needed a desperate win, somehow Jordan always said, I took it personal.
Michael, game on the line, who would take the last shot?
Me.
That's a dumb question. Me.
And then the next shot is him fucking slam dunking on everybody. He's taking it personal. A writer dissed him, a player said he wasn't shit, and he put that energy into the game. He wasn't just playing basketball, he was playing for pride.
If you actually enjoyed and found this somewhat useful, do let me know in the comments, and if this video helped to raise your IQ, be sure to share this video with your friends to also raise theirs. Until next time.